strong Fnatic are looking.
Then look for another reset. Sweep that one out. Interesting that Selfmade going to hold on to his trinket for the time being. Often we'll see junglers invest the early trinket, then go back to base, swap it for the sweeper, similar to what we've seen Jankos now do in this early game. And we'll see how much that influences Bwipo. Not having a ward towards the top side of the map may give Jankos a very clear window, being like, there might not be that much vision up towards the top lane in the early game.
Yeah, and vision, we already said, is going to be important because, of course, to break down this top lane a little bit more, like, in order to maximize the use of Rengar in lane, he constantly wants to be jumping in and out of the brushes, going for aggressive trades. You'll usually see him itemize into a couple of Doran's blades, and then I think when I've been looking at some of Bwipo's itemization, he likes to go for a Blade of the Ruined King for that 1v1 style of top lane. But when you have to play this melee champion who trades so aggressively, not a lot of range tools, has to get in your face, if the enemy jungler shows up and you're going for a minion, you're going for a trade, that can be rough to get out of.
And look at where Wonder's positioning in the lane right now. Notice that he's staying closer towards the river. He also has that ward placed there very early on. But the whole point is to stay away from the brushes, as Ender was alluding to. We're going to be hearing Rengar go rar, rar, rar a lot, because every time he jumps out, he's looking for the engage. He has that empowerment now for his abilities, but for now, Wonder has the stacked wave. He's going to get that push off, so Bwipo's going to go on the defensive.
Exactly, and they're doing this, right? Selfmade wants to path down bot side anyway, so Bwipo is going to play it safe. You'll notice Bwipo's trading pattern is going to depend entirely on the control of the minion wave. Because he has to go into your face for the trades, as soon as Wonder's able to build up a couple of extra ranged minions, that's when Bwipo's gonna hold it off and not actually go for the trades, and instead allow Wonder to push him in rather than take aggressive, chunks of HP against him.
Talking about aggressive chunks of HP, we saw Caps diving in very briefly there onto Nemesis. And as you may or may not know, we are playing under a delay, so while Mickey may have disconnected on screen, he is still in the game. There's no need to worry about that. And Jankos immediately going to move in towards the river. Already cleared out large portions of his jungle, and I'm very interested to see how both of these two jungle champions will be interacting with one another. Definitely raising a priority throughout the playoffs patch.
Yeah, so typically when we see these two junglers, it is going to come down to farming a whole lot. A lot of the action will be driven by actually roaming support. So when I look at a Braum versus a Nautilus, I would expect Fnatic to be a little bit more active in the early game, playing around resets with the bottom lane, then pairing up with Selfmade to get stuff done around the map. I was wondering for a second there, Jankos had the option to walk into the enemy Raptor camp. Both junglers were starting around that area, but getting that second spawn, that leveled up level 3, level 4 Raptors is going to be a big boon, and Jankos is not going to let Selfmade come in and take that away.
No, he certainly is not. Also want to draw attention to the two mid laners. You can see that Caps is accruing a bit of a CS advantage. He's been playing this 1v1 extremely well, but Nemesis pushed in that last wave, got a free recall in, won't be forced to expend his teleport, and you would imagine that Caps is going to look to do the same thing very soon. He's going to push this wave in and then look for a reset, and ideally he doesn't want to spend that TP, but depending on how fast Nemesis can clear that wave, could also be a window for Fnatic to look for a play. So Caps is on the recall. This is kind of where we look at positioning of the other players. Is there an opportunity somewhere? And it looks like for now, Nemesis is actually just going to set up a freeze so that he can claw back some of that CS deficit.
I absolutely love seeing how G2 are playing that, and also the possibility that they could move to those other lanes. When we were preparing for the final and looking at our stats, G2 as a team spent less time in their lanes than every other team. They do like to move around. Caps in particular as a mid lane is very strong at that. While that's going on, by the way, down this bottom lane, Perks and Mickey shoving forward. Look at Reckless sitting on that coal. Big indication as to what his expectations for this laning phase are going to be.
Yeah, I think as soon as you see a Senna Braum, you have to misplay a little bit in that lane to actually get big chunks of HP taken against you. So Reckless probably telling Hill, saying, don't go in for the trades. We're just going to farm this one up. It's going to be okay. Level 6 will come soon enough, and then we can go mid lane and look to punish the Caps.
Ooh, okay. Thank you, observers, for highlighting that. So this is quite surprising that Caps would actually invest his TP. If we can have a quick pan over to the mid lane and have a look at the wave state, you'll notice that Selfmade right now is looking for a potential play. We'll spot out Caps, so nothing going to happen. So I think Caps was concerned because the wave was frozen. If he doesn't invest his teleport there, then it gets a bit of awkward for him, so he wants to get back to lane as quickly as possible so that he can maintain. You'll notice this wave is stacking, and he has a CS advantage already, so this level 6 is going to come through very soon for Caps, and that's where he's going to start looking for plays.
Yeah, Caps basically, because Nemesis got that free recall off, it all went into that cascade effect, and Jankos was still trying to finish full clearing his jungle. So the TP there would be a good play. Now Jankos loops around the side, but Nemesis low on mana isn't going to overextend there. But Caps has the option to set up now his own freeze. But of course, Nemesis, who held onto the teleport, managing his wave very nicely, is not going to lose much from this.
Yeah, the Nemesis was able to hit 6 just a moment ago. Caps now does the same, and there comes Nemesis TPing into the mid lane. The thing that I'm very interested in is how this composition from G2 will play out. Vedas, you were talking about some of the options they could have gone with, and as the Ornn was available and not picked, they went to the Gnar instead. The feelings of that 1-3-1 definitely ringing true in my eyes for now. And look at this Wonder, 58 CS to 44. Fairly sizable advantage in that top lane already, as I think you would expect, because of the mini Gnar ranged form early on. He's already going to start TPing down. Here comes the play. That's a flash from Reckless already. Very good dredge line from Hilly, but will he get out with his life? Flash still available to him. Will get rooted down, 200 HP, and Hilly gets taken out for first place.
The chain CC is just ruthless right there, and Wonder with a nice teleport down. The team identified that Wonder. He didn't even have Mega Gnar up. He just knew all he needed was there to be there for a little bit of extra damage to make it so the Fnatic couldn't turn for the 2v.
How fair is it? Because I hear this voice in my head saying you have to misplay that lane against a Senna.
No.
Look, that looked beautiful from G2, but Reckless and Hilly, were they overextended? That's the question.
They weren't. The wave was bouncing back. They had to manage it. They had to push that one out. In an ideal world, they would have wanted Selfmade there to help walk that in, and it was just a well-placed deep ward where G2 were able to get a good punish. So I don't think that was Fnatic's bot lane. Yeah, that's fine. But I'm like, nope, no flame to the Fnatic bot lane there. I definitely think that was just a well-executed bot lane play from G2.
And I think the bigger point there is that Bwipo, playing this lane and playing fairly passively, not taking aggressive trades, was falling behind in HP, so he had to go for a very early teleport, whereas Wonder held on to his. And this is something that G2 are excellent at using. They're excellent at working with small advantages in their lanes to turn it into a lead for another player, and a lot of that time it'll come
now
through
this might be Hylissang's fault.
Yeah.
Okay, he will be able to get out with his life for now. Asher will be eaten up by the Unbreakable. Another root lands into Mickey. Here comes Selfmade. The onslaught goes forward. We'll get so much damage done with the rampage as well. Mickey stays alive thanks to the heal. He gets out thanks to the heal. He will finally go down just a moment later. Now all of a sudden, Hylissang gets the dredge line back in. Defensive flash from Jankos. He escapes with his life. Hilly will bounce away, and the Swell Seed won't be able to take him out. Fnatic find 2.
So close right there. Fnatic punishing, right? It looks like Hylissang was a little bit out of position, but Fnatic as a team were on the hunt, and that's a level 6 Hecarim charging straight into the bot lane, and Selfmade makes it work.
Really good punish from Fnatic. Looks like that they've come to play here in game 1. Both teams pretty even, with Fnatic having a slight edge. Good guy Jankos freezing the wave in the bot side of the map so that the G2 duo can get some farm back.
Selfmade would have farmed that way.
Yes, he would have. Now let's have a look at Hylissang here. So the problem for Hylissang is his jungler, while being on the bot side of the map, is not very close to him, and his AD carry isn't near either. His goal here is just to interrupt perks, which I think is fair enough to do, but then he realizes, okay, I may have overcommitted. Lily is on the way as well, and you'll see this is where the collapse starts to come through from G2, but then a good arrow from Reckless buys enough time, along with the follow-up chain CC, to allow Selfmade to roam down. Oriana's already moving, and Bob's your uncle. Meanwhile, in the top lane...
Well, the Gnar comes up from Wonder. Bwipo goes very low. There's the hop and the Boomerang Blade solo kill on the cards. And Wonder picks it up, making it look easy.
Man, Bwipo Rengar, like, I understand the idea. And like, it's supposed to be a really lane dominant pick against a squishy Gnar. It can be very effective, but you can't afford to be making mistakes like that, especially in the 1v1.
Yeah, but I remember talking about Bwipo's Rengar, you know, back a long time ago when he was picking it regularly, and it worked when you picked aggressive junglers next to it. That enabled him to take aggressive trades, to always be able to back him up so that a Gnar can't just chase you down with the consecutive slows. But here that is not the case, even with a lot of Fnatic players around the top side of the map. Still, Herald did go to Self.
It did indeed. Fnatic are nearly 1,000 gold down, But it is a good sign for G2 fans out there. Wonder 2-0 on the Gnar. That Cull's getting close to proccing. And Wonder's starting to find his feet again. You know, Bwipo and Wonder looked good last weekend. It was a bold call to run the Rengar into the Gnar. It's not paying off yet. But let's see if it works out, because if memory serves Vedius, that game against SK also didn't start particularly well for Bwipo and came back later. Right?
I mean, it's the Rengar pick is one of those champions that later on into the game, when paired with an Ash Arrow, it can be great for finding picks, catching people off guard. One of my big concerns for Rengar is, number one, he's playing against a Braum with Exhaust. Exhaust always makes Assassin's life difficult. When you contrast that to Fnatic, who's playing against Akali, no Exhaust, Akali's like, okay, I kind of have free reign over everyone, I only have to be careful of the Nautilus. On top of that, there's the potential Yankos sleep, there's the potential if Wonder's in Mega Gnar form, there's the Shroud, there's so many things that I think can make this Rengar's life difficult. I think the whole goal here was to get lane dominance, and so far, Bwipo has not been able to do that.
You know, it is interesting when you talk about G2's composition with all the CC they have, but here's Hylissang in the bot lane.
Support there. There's the Ash Arrow as well, and Wonder may just be able to Gnar out and does not. Second kill secured by Hylissang with the help of Bwipo and Reckless.
That's just a really nice play from Fnatic, and you can continue to expect much more of this because of the engage options they do have, engaging from super long range. Meanwhile, G2 trying to play around mid, and they're not going to land the sleep. This is what G2 love to do so often, but without the hard, you know, engaged champions in jungle and support, it's not easy.
They did get the flash, though, from Nemesis. The cost will be self-made, and Fnatic picking up the first dragon of the game a little after 11 minutes. And that Herald, by the way, still sitting in Selfmade's back pocket, while Perkz is now swapped up to the top lane.
You can just head straight to bot lane right now, though. Drop that down for Reckless, funnel more gold into him. They're going to likely secure this tower and have a big advantage in terms of map movements. And I think that Fnatic were pretty intelligent with what they did in the early game. They did a very early swap up towards the Herald. They didn't even play for the first Drake. Then when they came back down after immediately getting the Herald, they caught Wonder off guard, and they were able to punish him, and now they're going to balloon this gold lead even more, and a lot of that's going to go into the back pocket of Reckless, who now has a 1k gold advantage over his lane counterpart. So Fnatic definitely going toe-to-toe in this early game, have a pretty healthy gold lead 12 minutes in.
It's a little bit surprising, because when I was coming into the series, I was expecting G2 would be the team that's a little bit more adept at playing the map and getting advantages through, you know, priority and executing into separate lanes. But I feel like Fnatic has been doing that better than G2 in the early game, and a little bit of that actually has come through Nemesis, even though he hasn't participated in a lot of these kills in mid lane with the early control over the lane states. He's actually been the first to be able to move down into these bot side plays, which has enabled Fnatic the freedom to actually execute on.
Well, we just have a brief minute reminder that the winner of this game advances to the Championship Series next Sunday. The loser will play on Saturday's series against either Mad or Rogue. And when you think of these two teams, they've both been in a final for every final that has existed. Look at the screen at the bottom. Either Fnatic or G2, the level of dominance these two organizations have had is mind-boggling. I came into today expecting a G2 3-0. I am so happy to see what Fnatic are already doing in-game, because Fnatic have not picked up a single win against G2 all year long. They're 0-7 down.
Yeah, Scriptwriters keeping it interesting this time around, seeing what happens. I think that it kind of goes to show that I was talking to Casual about this the other day. The number of players and teams... Oh, hang on a second.
That's a lot of damage, waiting for the roar and the savagery. Not going to get the kill, but that highlights what Bwipo wants to do.
I mean, yeah, it showcases some of the power that Rengar does have, and I did have a point that I might not get to as Fnatic looks for a dive in top lane.
All right, ECA. Where's the Enchanted Crystal Arrow from Reckless? He's holding on to the trigger. Yankos could be the next target, as Caps is already down. Instant arrow after the TP from Wonder. That's a second kill for Fnatic. Now Hylissang goes golden thanks to the stopwatch. He's going to get rooted in place. Good damage down coming from G2, but they've got to back away. The Swirl Seed will not find a target, and Fnatic get the second tower.
This is exactly what we want to keep seeing from Fnatic. They're working as a team, teaming up Hylissang and self-made Nemesis, moving in these death balls to find dives in the side lanes. And G2's comp, right, we said it, Gnar, Akali, you want to play in the sides, you want to be able to spread out. Well, that is not going to work when Fnatic attack this coordinator.
I'm surprised that Caps continued to stay here. I thought that he would disengage much earlier on, but he didn't have his W available because he used it earlier on. Then a great set of chain CC. We saw this in the bot lane. We're seeing it again. Wonder doesn't get to use the Mega Gnar ultimate, which is so game-changing because in this 3 versus 5, G2 just don't have the damage to commit to the fight, which means that Fnatic walk away with 2 easy kills in a town.
During the draft, Vedius and Ender, you both said that there's so many initiation tools on the side of Fnatic. They're using them and they're utilizing them well. And whenever you've looked at any sort of poke comp or 1-3-1 comp, if they never get the chance to set up and actually play the lanes, that's how you can bully them. Fnatic are in exceptional position. Nearly 3k up, 3 kills up, and the Dragon in 15 minutes.
And the weakness that I'm seeing from G2's draft playing into Fnatic is, yes, they have some CC tools to play back, but it's all condition-based, right? Nar's ultimate, he has to be in Mega. Lilia has to hit you with an ability first before she can proc the sleep. Even Braum's CC needs 3 more auto attacks on before it can actually apply, so you have a lot of time to get into the backline if you are Fnatic and just set up to instantly blow someone up before you get locked down.
Now I imagine Fnatic's next game plan is to look for that Rift Herald or for the next Cloud Drake. They kind of have a lot of options here, given that they are in a stronger position. First items already come through. Trinity Force already finished for Selfmade is so powerful, but they can also concede it. Losing the second Rift Herald is not the end of the world. They know that they're 2 towers up, and playing for Cloud Soul, not Cloud Soul, sorry, playing for the Dragon Soul is much more valuable in their eyes. So that's going to be the priority, and I think this is absolutely fine.
Yeah, I think when you already have a composition that's built around A, team fighting, that means playing for the Dragon Soul is going to be absolutely massive. But also, their engage options are highly tethered to their ultimate cooldown, so having Ash Hour being able to come out more frequently is going to mean more time of threat on G2 where they have to worry about the engage.
I would also say that Rift Herald may have had a higher priority if G2's wave clear was higher, but it's actually very low. When you have a Kali, when you have the Senna, and you have the Gnar, it's very easy for Fnatic to just do this and take what they want.
Look at all the initiation. Even though the arrow doesn't land, Perkz is forced to use the flash to get away. Now he does. Selfmade is in trouble. Flash forward from Caps, gets the kill before he's taken down. Here comes Jankos and Mickey, but the backup is already in place from Nemesis. Where's the shockwave? Not going to be flashed away from as Mickey escapes with his life. It's a 1-for-1, but a melee in the mid lane.
Yeah, Fnatic get a little ambitious there, Selfmade going underneath the tower, but it is always Fnatic playing on a numbers advantage and around this middle lane while Wunder was stranded down bot side. So I really like how they are moving around the map, and even the little things too, where Nemesis after the fight walks in, steals away the enemy Raptor camp. It's all these little tiny advantages that are building up now for Fnatic into a sizable lead.
And what a fantastic performance so far between Selfmade and the bottom lane, working with them, working with the initiation tools. Hill is saying 2-1 and 3, Selfmade 1-1-4. Hilly forced a Hex Flash over the wall, Reckless flashed as well. There goes the Curse of the Black Mist, Dredgeline finds a target, Caps coming over the wall. No perfect execution available, but he may not need it, as the Thrill of the Hunt has been popped. Bwipo's looking for a target, and Fnatic have been pushed away from the Dragon Pit. G2 get control.
So the one combo we didn't talk about was the Rengar-Orianna combo. Obviously, Fnatic have a lot of dive, but that shockwave can literally come out of nowhere. And I think it's something that G2 have to respect. But I think props to G2 as they were able to find that Drake and delay this potential soul. Gives them more time, gives them more opportunities for their solo laners to be able to ramp up and be more of a threat. But I will say, I think this Rengar's going to be a lot more problematic in the side lane than perhaps G2 expect as they look to try and shut down Bwipo.
There's the hop. A Boomerang Blade won't find a target. Damage from Bwipo is pretty good, and Jankos still waiting for an opportunity to get involved. That's a flash away. No, the hop away from Bwipo. He's using these bushes fantastically, and that passive will eventually get run down, but how much damage can he do? That's a fairly healthy chunk against a 1v2.
Yeah, Fnatic do have 4 people in mid lane, so I think they should be able to trade this mid tower for it, but one of the first cracks I feel like I've seen from Fnatic playing the map where Bwipo is down bot side without a lot of coverage while his team was not in a position to be able to respond. Still, Fnatic are going to be very happy with this trade.
Yeah, I call that hashtag worth. I think ultimately Bwipo didn't need to die there, but
That's
arrow now coming down bot. Look, Nautilus on the way as well.
Oh, so close!
That's a butt clencher. Wow, that was
so
close.
Close.
Wunder just barely escaping with his life. Looks like G2 will secure their first tower of the game. But Fnatic, I will say, overall, looking good right now. Sitting with a 3k Goldie. They're looking for another play mid.
They are indeed. Perkz, remember, lost his flash just a few moments ago. Mickey cannot peel and save him. Now he's the target. The Unbreakable will get hammered on by the Rangers' focus, and Reckless picks up his second kill of the game. Fnatic are opening the series with a statement.
Fnatic absolutely on form here, and right there, Selfmade. We talked about it. He's hit the item spikes. He's on the Hecarim. He does so much damage, and Fnatic continue to abuse G2 with the effective range of their composition. A Hecarim can get on you so quickly from inside the river. They had a ward to be able to spot out Perkz there, and they charge him down and finish him off. And now, as more and more towers fall around the map, this is only going to become more and more concerning for G2.
I think that right now, Fnatic have good scaling options. They have a number of ways to start a fight. I think the fact that they lost that second Drake was pretty unfortunate for them, but at the same time, they're in a great position to contest the next one. And I think right now, if you're looking at G2, you're kind of like, all right, Caps, if you're going to show up, now would be a great time. I think that Caps' Akali is something that you always have to be afraid of. He can change fights single-handedly with the champions like this with the amount of agency that he has. But when you look at things holistically, I think the Fnatic also have a great way to shut him down. So I think this is going to be a tough uphill battle from this point forward for G2.
It definitely is. I think it's worth pointing out some of the interactions that G2 have, but before then, Bwipo is hovering around the top side of the map. Doesn't have his team with him, so I don't think he's going to commit there with the ultimate, just clears away the minions. But one thing that I do really like with G2's comp is how sort of the sleeps can come in, the Senna has this long-range pokes. There's a lot of tools to put people to sleep so Caps can get in position for the attack, and then Senna to finish them off from long range. And it's those types of backline dive plays that I think G2 need to pull off in order to come out with this fight.
It doesn't feel like they've had the opportunity, though. Fnatic seem to be dictating the pace of the game. You know, 4 towers to now 2 as Caps was able to pick up the top lane outer. But every time there was an opportunity, and I think you said it during draft as well, that the tower dive potential from Fnatic is strong, and they've shown a willingness and an ability to execute on it.
And now I feel like Fnatic are itemizing perfectly for the challenges that will be thrown their way with an Akali trying to dive into their backline, because Rekkles has the QSS to completely negate the sleep coming in from Jankos. That sleep is so meaningful because it gives an Akali time to position and dive onto into the backside. And Nemesis also went for the Seraph's Embrace right off the bat. So that bonus shield on top of some extra MR and the HP he's getting from Leandries is going to make it much harder for G2 strikes to actually hit true.
Oh, man, how confusing is it to see Fnatic playing this game after the split that we've had and all the question marks raised about the individuals?
That's the problem is, Trevor, you're right, and I'm sitting here being like, Fnatic's looking great, they have a gold lead, everything's in their favor, and then I'm sitting there, I'm like, but I've seen Caps do this before, and I'm just keeping my eyes on him because I'm like, yeah, this looks great. This is exactly what Fnatic fans want. I made a tweet earlier where it was kind of sad because I saw a lot of Fnatic fans just being like, okay, listen, we know you're gonna lose, could you at least take a game? And I was just like, come on, like, you've got to be a little bit more optimistic. I feel like Fnatic looked really good against Rogue. They've clearly found their identity. I think in game 1, they're definitely looking strong against G2. Right now, they're definitely in a much more favorable position. They're setting up for the Infernal. The question is, can G2 do G2 things and find a way to claw the goal back?
How good is Fnatic set up for the Infernal right now? I can see some deep vision and the pushing wave.
Yeah, it's too good. I don't think G2 can realistically contest it. What I think G2 want to do is steal all these topside camps and potentially get a tower, and that's why Fnatic are now charging at Jankos.
Yeah, Jankos has already used that flash. The Ash Arrow comes through as well. There's a follow-up teleport coming from Fnatic now to fight on multiple fronts. Jankos is already down. The Onslaught of Shadows comes up. That buys so much time as Caps is fleeing and afraid and terrified. He's forced to dash over the wall to safety to escape for his life.
Wonder!
The Gnar into the wall! Wonder finds the double stun, but he's shut down. Rekkles gets another. Dredge line onto Mickey. He goes down as well.
What a beautiful bait and switch. Now Bwipo's in here. He's charging down perks. He'll go down. Caps executes to the Baron. It's an ace for Fnatic, and they have broken open game 1.
Sorry, I completely missed the setup for Baron. I didn't realize that's what Fnatic was going for. They find an opportunity and punish.
It was just a genius play because everyone is looking at the map and Fnatic have full control over the Dragon. So G2 aren't going to fight it. G2 are a team that loves to trade you on the other side of the map, so they go topside. So Fnatic put Bwipo to solo out the Dragon while the rest of Fnatic charges at Jankos, who they just spotted on this ward.
And it's exactly as you say. Jankos thinks that he's safe in the top side. So I think that Fnatic could...
2 esports may have turned this one around. Rekkles, the rest of Fnatic start to back away. 2 more kills to G2. The arrow tags onto Hylissang. Nemesis will get some damage down. That's the pull backwards, but it's blown up. Jankos goes down. He will get taken out from the damage from perks though. And now G2 turn around. The fans predicted it and G2 are pushing.
I think G2 won it all right here, Trevor. There's 2 members alive, Nemesis and Rekkles on the other side, but Caps finding 3 members in the backline with his LeBlanc. It's massive.
40-second death timer for Hylissang, 30 for Bwepo and Selfmade. The teleport is coming in from Wanda inside the base. It's up to Reckless and Nemesis, the double ADs, to defend. Mickey's going to jump forward. The Unbreakable will time out very, very shortly. The first Nexus turret is down. G2 Esports are pushing on Nemesis. Nemesis has forced his own away. The culling! It takes no longer. Reckless is getting the damage down, though. The scaling, the late game.
Wait! Oh no! The Ocean Soul!
Out. Apologies to headphone listeners. Did not intend to scream that loud.
But we're still on the dragon. The Ocean Soul is... Oh, Nemesis!
No! Almost gets taken out. Apologies to headphone listeners. Did not intend to scream that loud.
But we're still on the dragon. The Ocean Soul is... Oh, Nemesis! He just solo killed Caps!
Nemesis kills Caps. The soul goes to Fnatic. They kill Jankos as well. It's 5 versus 3. They can push into the base. Fnatic have everything they need to win the series.
I think that's it. I thought it was done and dusted. I thought G2 had won it all, but Fnatic have held the line.
With they base race. Attention to the Nexus turret. For the first time since 2018, for the first time in 875 days, Fnatic take down G2.
last September.
Disappointed to just miss out on that world record, but it really put a marker down as we moved. Absolutely. The other day, and it could just be an who's in third as well.
Facing two athletes, so it's 61-40. Remember Mo Farah, who had the benefits of company last year. He had his training partner with him in the latter stages of the race, so there was a definite sprint finish, and he's working his way in the final couple of minutes of this race towards the iconic Cutty Sark, the famous T-clipper. Be waiting for him in Greenwich.
What message does this send to you about Kenenisa Bekele?
This sends a message. Yeah, this sends a message to say, are you watching Eliud Kipchoge?
Yeah. What do you think he's capable of in Tokyo? If he's capable of this on his own?
I think he's capable of a medal. There's no doubt about it. Coming into the streets of Greenwich, then many people will be familiar with these sites. Kenenisa Bekele. Well, I think he's got a course record here. This is the centre of Greenwich, and any minute now, Cutty Sark will loom into vision. He's what, less than 200 metres to go. Kenenisa Bekele, it's been a terrific effort here. Kenenisa Bekele is going to smash the course record today. A big performance from a big athlete here. Bekele is back to winning ways in London here. Terrific performance, isn't he? I think he's looking for a time here.
I think he must be. I think he'll have an idea of what his training has indicated he is capable of. But it's one thing to do it in training. You want to come out and show it off on the roads. But that gap he's opened up on Chris and got over sort of 6 or 7 minutes, he has absolutely lost Chris, and looking really, really good. Here we go in some mile splits. So you can see he's done the damage there, dropping from 450 to 436. It must have a bit of an incline in that to make a 450 out of that, but 436 is really going some, and that, like we were saying, round about that 60-minute pace, and it'd be fantastic to see a sub 50 here today.
Thundering blow.
Going to be beneficial here when you're trying to play your...
Oh my! Licorice is about to die to Broken Blade. 2 more auto attacks. One'll do it there with the slam, and the Thundering blow takes the kill. First blood for Broken Blade.
What an Easter egg for TSM. After that gank, getting his flash blown by Blabber there. What a... There it is.
Oh, Niski goes for the solo kill. The Ardent Blaze barely missed Bjergsen. The very end of that spell, if it could.
And that's the early pressure that you want to try and play off of. I expect him to go with the Blade of the Ruin King early game build. Here's a repeat gank.
All right, Spica up top side. Looking for the kill onto Licorice here yet again. It is trouble in top lane for Cloud9. Niski also with the rotation over here. Although Evelynn doesn't have the easiest time soloing a dragon down, she doesn't have to solo it because...
Blabber, though, just trying to full clear to get to that level 6.
Blabber wants that extra power of having the camouflage. Level 6, so important for the Evelynn. Spica in top side. Guys, pay those taxes, get the QSSs up and running, or else you're going to be in a bad spot. Speaking of a bad spot, Bjergsen has to outside, making sure he was enabling Broken Blade, helping him, protecting him, assisting him. And now once again, it's Licorice face checking. He tries to get himself away using the ulti, but now there comes the pull, drag him straight back. Licorice with the flash away, Broken Blade following after with the auto attack after the form change, and that's TSM making this game 3-0 for his opponent. On the Wukong, Licorice will have a long way to go to be relevant here in this game. Dive potentially coming down on the Devilish, a little bit more damage would have been required, but now the ulti coming out. Sven nearly going to be taken down here. Vulcan
Stages, and TSM start up the Dragon because they think that's enough.
Blabber moving in, wants to be able to seal it away. Instead, it's going to be secured by TSM. Licorice, Broken Blade, happy to just play this patiently. There's nothing to really fight for here except grabbing some minions. But now the Wombo combo coming through. Licorice with the initiation, chasing him underneath the turret. A little bit more damage will do it. And yup, if Evelyn tries to fight Skarner on top of the Spire, she has a very, very bad time. Her base stats are incredibly low, and Skarner gets a lot of free money on top of that. Now he's able to find the pull onto Vulcan here. Stopwatch will be able to keep the Cloud9 support alive for a little bit longer. Thick skin as he tries to walk away. Sven down to 250 HP here as well. Broken Blade going to be in some trouble. Bjergsen grabs a double. The Zillion makes the plays. 1, 2, 3. It's 2 kills and an extra life for Broken Blade.
About it.
For Biofrost to show up and finish him off. Drake down to half HP. Blabber's hanging out on the flank, looking for a chance to go in here, but Spica has him figured out. Chasing after him here with the Predator. Last caress going to be used. Flash going to be used. Blabber trying to get away. No, thank you, sir. Broken Blade grabs the kill onto the Cloud9 jungler, but the trade
They're starting up the Baron. They see this series in their eyes.
Cloud9 must respond. They cannot give away a 23-minute Baron on this game that they must not lose. TSM looking to make sure they do, as now the Baron is down to 5,000 HP. They tried to get the culling to put work in onto the Baron. Instead, Cloud9 make the call, let it go. They know that they cannot engage 4v5 like this. They don't have a jungler to try and steal. Licorice looked like he had a cheeky thought about that blast code there.
With the 2-1 lead in the series, they're looking for Blabber again.
Here they go. Blabber once again going to be pulled in by Spica's Skarner, and Bjergsen gets the damage with the bomb. Towards the tier 3 in the base. 60 seconds still left on Baron. They've already got so much done with this, and now they can do even more. Sven nearly killed off. Center root going to find him. A little bit more damage coming through. Dawning Shadow is going to force the Devourer out of Vulcan, and with Sven having to continue to retreat, TSM will take down the bottom lane in him. It's 2 in-hits down, and TSM with Baron pushing towards Nexus turrets. Cloud9, 5v5. They must find some sort of a way to defend this. Licorice is trying to teleport.
捍卫小人很喜欢去你的那条路啊，子喵喵。
啊，我知道了，我太小心了。他应该也是来。
捍卫小人会不会来找我啊？
我帮你造一个上路，来了，我帮你造一个。有，捍卫小人上去了，捍卫小人上去了。完了。
哎，下流！这家伙。
来，我来了。
我可以帮你我看那个。可以把2个都卖惨了。哎，
等一下，我没有智能施法。等一下，等我一下。
恐怕得他不。
哎，完蛋了！没有智能施法，眼睛插不出来啊！
你可以打啊 ，ESP 啊。
ESP